my screen. Okay, you're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll work on some other Excel topics. If we look up index and match some product, RAND between and all. So which are very much essential for our other things also. It's more of like why we do this thing is like to build a understanding like what's the kind of data preparation also you need to do. So for all these things helps because when you get to statistics, you'll see like comparing groups and those kind of things and all. At that point of time, if you have data sets downloaded from some database servers and all to Excel, so how to really use these things to create the data set or a data frame to do any analysis. That's why these are some things which helps. I think I have shared that book on Microsoft Excel modeling by Wayne Winston. So that's a really a Bible, and it contains everything. So whatever I have doing and all, everything is done there. So if you can really follow it and work across those things, those examples and all, so it will be really good. Okay. We move. So if logic will start today, I think if logic everybody would have done it already, but for the sake of completion, complete it. What are the things which we need to do it? So let's try to download it, the example here, and
So can you just share with us the easy Excel link from where you download this particular if logic?
yeah, I think it's on the sheet which I gave you, right?
Oh, okay.
So here it has everything. So when you open the sheet, so
Okay,
to the
okay.
right
Got
side,
it. Got it.
links are there. You click on it, you can open it, and you can download it.
Got it, sir.
Okay. So in terms of complexity, they have put it like many tabs are there. We'll do one or two, and just I can leave it as an exercise where you can work. So it is something they have put simple one, simple two, and or mixed, nested if, more about if, because this is something which you will be using a lot. That's why the emphasis on this is more even from the author of the blog, and you will also notice that it's very much essential. We try to use it. Many things which you can do through the if logic. We are trying to find out the if price is greater than some 500, the if function returns high, else it returns low. That's what they are trying to do it. So let's see. So we can use comparison operators like equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal, not equal. These are some things which we can try it out. Let's see about it. It has been solved there. Let's try to put something else here. So, instead of 500, let me put it as not equal to 500. It was greater than this thing, but we use the same.
Professor, those links are not working in Excel. Yeah, I just tried it.
Which links? The links which I have posted in the Excel sheet.
Yes.
You can work. So let me see.
I think Martin, you have to go to the column P. No,
Copy
links.
paste, huh?
Yeah, you come here. So you do be on first this thing. Say copy.
Copy paste.
You take it here. Paste it. Working.
Okay, okay. I'll copy paste from there.
Yeah. So I change the logic to not equal to 500, but it is showing high and low. Can somebody tell me what happened here? Should have been something else. So because see, all things are provided by me. I mean to say, who writes this thing. So not equal to is something like that less than and greater than thing which I have put 500. It is giving me high or low. So should I change that high and low, or so is it right? I think it is execution wise, it is correct. So if I take this logic below also, all things are high, it is telling. So I think while we write what exactly we want here, so that way it comes. Simply I changed it, that's all, nothing else. So the way we put it, not equal to high, low, yes or no or something like that, we should put. So probably in that kind of a scenario, it will give the right result, whatever we are seeking. So it was greater than 500. So if I say less than 500 here, no, correct. In okay. So this is a very simple way. Next, moving to one more. What he has more for us. So we should put something like it is trying to find out if A2 is equal to USA 5,0. It is trying to say like that. It can be yes or no also. 1 or 0 also we can put it. But like it's left to us. So this logic is left to us here. I can put anything here. Probably I can put 1 also. So it will give me 1. Wherever USA is there, I get 1, rest and all are 0. One way of putting a logic. So the formula below calculates the progress between 2 points in time, start and end. So for this thing, so you can use if function to display an empty string if the end value hasn't been entered yet. So that way we can try to find it out. So in invited codes, we try to put it, of course. Just if I put it as he mentions, equal to B2 minus A2. So we get this answer. Instead of that, not to get a minus 30 sign or something like that, since one column is empty, sorry, one cell is empty, we get a blank here. So to do that kind of a logic, we use that not equal to sign. If there is a blank, it will check first, then it does B2 minus 2 and we get a result. So the blank is considered. So that we have to be very careful. So we take that thing into consideration, write the logic. This is one way of putting that logic. Putting and thing. So if function in combination with and or becomes an cell expert. For example, take a look if function in cell D2 below. So if and is used, so please remember like how we have to use it and the kind of bracket what we have to use it. We use a round bracket. We use a condition there. Try to find out. So and is used like the and function returns true if the first score is greater than or equal to 60 and the second score is greater than or equal to 90. So both things are considered here. So you have some things like some names. So score 1 is 93, score 80 is score 2 is 80. So it will report as a fail or a pass. So I have two and so both things are considered here. So if I take a or in that kind of a situation, so when we see the first thing was a fail there, second thing is a pass. So that's the thing which is done here. So first one is the fail because the AND function. So AND is like it will check both the conditions. It's are either one of the conditions taken into consideration. So that's how the OR condition, either one of them. So I have to use AND and OR both together. The kind of a complex thing which I need to use it. So AND is used here first, then the OR function is used. So based on that kind of a logic, it does some kind of a multiplication and gives us the answer. So what could be the series is trying to happen here? That is what is mentioned here. AND function above has two arguments separated by a comma. So based on whatever is done, so if function reduces the price by 50%, if false, then if function reduces the price by 10%. So that's the kind of a thing we try to do it. So this is mainly used for some kind of data preparation, whatever needs to be done priorly, or after you have done results. So for example, you use methods like regression, linear regression, logistic regression. The result output of this thing can be used, like for example, to calculate the differences. Like for example, the diff between the actual and the predicted values. You apply a if function and all to find out the logic between whether your observed score and the differential score from a multiple linear regression thing is near to zero or there is a lot of difference between them. For that kind of a thing, it will be used. Of course, for preparation sake also, you can use it. So that's the whole idea. We try to put a and or a or here. So it has to be very careful like what we put it there, and based on that thing we get a result. So how to put it, where the and should come and how or is used. So that has to be done very carefully. So I have a nested if. So I've got two if functions. We have to be very sure about the brackets. If I remove something and I'll probably point out to an error. If I remove this, let me see what's the kind of remove some brackets here. So it says that we found a typo in the formula. So and it will try to correct us for us. So whether are you going to accept the correction, it will ask. So that's the error which can point it out. Some kind of artificial intelligence built into the system can do it. Very simple things, so not very complex things it can handle. So if I say yes here, it will try to. So it corrected that I had removed two closing brackets here. So I have removed three. So again, it is saying yes, it can correct for me. Yes, so it's going to be excellent. So all things are captured here. So nested if has a bad, good, excellent, and not valid. So all the logic has been inbuilt here using the two if statements. So carefully crafted here where comma has to come. So if B3 is equal to 1, it is bad. Then if B3 is equal to 2, it is good. Again, one more if B3 is equal to 3, excellent. And the last one will not put an if statement. It is not valid. So there are only 4 options in this thing. So the not valid will have just a comma and inverted commas. And I put 3 closing brackets here and I get an answer. So all 3 things are covered. Then nested if. One more kind of ideation. So it is something like out of practice, probably not in one day or something like that. You can clear to this. Probably needs more practice. Probably you can practice it. You can use your own data. You can change certain things. Probably whatever is there in the inverted commas and all, you can change to some grade. You can change it to some marks. You can change it to some color. All things can be done. So that way you can practice it. So more about this thing if and then. Trying to find out based on age whether Richard is a teenager or not. That also one more thing. One more logic. So I got data in this thing, these cells. So the logic is used here. Result. If and F3 is greater than 100, average of data 1. So I mean to say mean of this thing is calculated. So mean of data 1. So data 1 is a named range here. So named range has been used. So in last class we saw about name ranges. So that has been used. So else in the sheet, wherever data 1 is there, so this is locked for that kind of a thing. So this is when I choose this thing, data 1 will be shown here correctly. So it will take an average of this data 1 here, try to get an answer. So that is being done here, and we get an answer. So sum of data too also. So this is sum here. This is an average. Here some sum is. So these are all inbuilt functions of Excel. So that has been very judicious. So if you want to see what are those functions and all, if you click on this here, function here, you can see this thing. What are the things available here? So whatever was used here has been given here. So of course, most recently used are given, and you have got a whole set of things which can be used. Text, database, lookup and reference, etc. Math and trigonometrical functions, some engineering functions, etc. etc. Everything is shown here. When I say all, each and one of the thing as available inbuilt functions, you get a whole list of things. Fine. Sorry, drop down. So using a named range, we are trying to get an if and an. So wherever this is there, so in this workbook, this data one refers to this thing. If I use data one in some simple or something like that, it will pop a question to me saying that there is a data one there. So should it be specific to this sheet? Yes. So we have to be clear that from where we are trying to get the data one here. Mix and match, we use it. This data one will be true for this particular workbook actually. So wherever we use this thing, that will be directly shown. So this was a bit about these things. You can work on many other things. Of course, error handling also has been given here. Like I told you in my last class, you can just see like what are things which you can try it out. So let's move to the next aspect. Do you have any questions for if?
No, Professor, we'll practice. If anything is there, we'll ask in next class.
We close off. One more thing, the best thing which we'll be using is a Vlookup. So there are a huge set of things of Vlookup which is available here. Exact match, etc. etc. Any permutation, let me try to do some. Because Vlookup is something which we use it a lot. Even today, I think so. If somebody is a user of Excel, probably will know the importance of Vlookup. Have a Vlookup stands for vertical lookup. There is also a H lookup that is known as a horizontal lookup, but very sparsely used. Because when you have downloaded something from different databases and all, you try to merge them into certain single data frames and all. So at that point of time, we try to match them with VLOOKUP. At that point of time, it's very much necessary. So we have somebody already done it. So let's try to see whether we are able to replicate some things, whatever we are shown. What exactly. The most popular function, as I told you, there are many things, many permutation combinations of VLOOKUP available, which we can see. So most of the time you are looking for an exact match when you use the VLOOKUP function. Let's take a look at the arguments of the. So the VLOOKUP function below looks up the value 53 in the leftmost column of the red table. That is the second argument. That's what he says that. So let's see what exactly we try to get from that. We take that out and copy it. So it is checking for this ID 53 here. 53 is here. So from this whole list of things. So when I paste this, you will notice that what are the things it is looking for. So the data frame is created. I am looking for. So that is from E3 to E9. So notice that is locked there in terms of the boundary condition there. So it is trying to find H2 here. So whatever is the VLOOKUP of this thing, the answer should be given in terms of the salary here. If I say enter here, I want the salary of that person who has the ID of 53. So that is given here. So 53 has about 58,339 as the salary. So vertical lookup is it looks into this aspect. So this is vertical. That is where it tries to look up for that thing in this whole set of logic, and it tries to give us this 53. Sorry, $8,000 or something like that.
Professor, what about 4, false? I didn't get why it is.
The fourth is the fourth column. You have a boundary condition, so it is trying to look up for 53 because 53 I have mentioned here, and I'm trying to find the salary here. So salary is in the fourth column, the vertical list. So based on that,
Yeah.
pick up this thing and try to put it here. So it is looking for this two.
What is false then?
Sorry.
What is the logic of putting false?
If it is not able to find it out, else it is false. That's the thing it will say. That's all.
Sir, and when you are saying it is on the fourth column, fourth means I'm calculating it from ID, means from the left, I'm going from left to right. So is it a directional constraint is there on this?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely you have a directional constraint also. See, only thing it matches is from a vertical setup. So this is what it is looking for. So I am trying to tell I want a salary here. So if I change it to 3, say for example, let's see, it's a very good question you put it. So if I repeat that thing here, say for example, I have to find out the name or something like that. Give me that. So I want sort of so ID is 53. So I want a name. So let me
Maybe, sir, we can put under I to a name like MIA. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want some name, like you want to pick it from this thing and try to do it, right?
Without disturbing 53, I was saying we put it beside that maybe.
Yeah,
MIA.
definitely. Okay. So we'll put it as some Clark.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me put this as name. Clark. So I pick up this logic. Instead of salary, I put it here.
But then it will be VLOOKUP D. D.
VLOOKUP, I require it is a J2, right?
J2, correct. VLOOKUP J2.
J2, B3 to B9.
B3 to B9.
So this is
On third column.
Third column.
And then false.
So it is giving me wrong here. So what could be the thing here? Like because I have used a character set here, or escrow or something like that.
Not sure. We can check
Sir,
that
you need to lock B3 and E9.
with $sign you were saying.
Yeah. If you lock B3 and B9 in the.
So you mean to say I have to use a relative referencing here?
Yeah. With the dollar symbol.
Okay. So you want to have a complete this thing lock or here?
Yeah, complete lock. $B, $3.
Okay, very good.
And $E. And
$9. No, it's some error. Okay, so let's see what error it is.
No, sir, the after 9. I think you have written $E, $9. E9 will be 1. We have to take the cell, we have to make the cell related.
So you mean to say I should have $E here? That's all. That should be enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, let's try it out. Let's try it out. No,
Oh, still not.
something. Okay. Okay. Column 3. I don't know. J2 it is able to say it. Okay.
So can you click on that exclamation mark? It may tell us what may be the error. But sir, here they are asking us to take relative cell number.
Should give us, but I don't know. Like.
Sir, formula is wrong. It is B3 to D9. There you have missed. Actually, you have taken till 3 and you have given 3 as
Exactly, sir.
You have taken 4 actually. B, C, D, E. So it should be 4 then. If you give 4 and false, then I guess we will get the answer.
So the range will be, sir, until
yeah. If it is
Okay,
4,
let's
then
see.
the answer will be right, I guess.
So shall I remove the $sign here? Let me see.
With the $sign, I guess. With the $sign.
So let us keep the $sign, and then instead of E9, you can make it as a D9.
Yeah. Because E9 is the salary, right?
Sir, and then 4 becomes 3. Instead of 4.
Now 4 becomes 3. So that time we may get the name.
An absolute that. This one also relative.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, there's some challenge.
Sir, we need to find the name for.
So should we start from B2 instead of B3?
B2.
Should we start from B2?
Makes sense.
No, it's P3 only because these are the things where I require whatever the thing is there. Because if I take this thing also into
No, it doesn't show where the name is, right? Can we just try putting B2?
I'll do that.
No.
Sir, it could be from 3 only, but J2.
B3 to B9. No, but it should be locked kind of a thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Sir, it should be locked, sir, or else we will not get the answer.
So that is right, sir. It has to be relative.
Yeah.
Then after that, somewhere we are going.
Okay, let me put that.
Yes.
What if I change the salary? No, let me see. I don't know. Like there should be some copy this here. No, Walker is coming here. How can that be? So
Sir, you have taken 4, no, sir. So fourth one is the last name.
yes, but I was trying to find out S3. So what could be here? Like H11 it is taking. So it is 53. It should have taken here, but it is displaying me Walker here.
Sir, because in formula we look up H11 comma that 4 is there. So now 4 one is last name. So if you make that 3, now salary will show for you.
Okay. So instead of that thing, it is coming. Fine.
Yeah, we have taken 4. So last name is 4. So only we are receiving this.
Mhm.
So we can change on the formula to 3 and 6.
Yeah, can you check that so that
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, instead of this thing, let me put
3 so that we can see. Yeah,
Yes.
it's coming.
So it's coming. Sir.
now we can try it for name, no, sir.
Yeah, this thing we can try it out, but I don't know. Like it is.
Sir, it will come. Usually, it will come. It should come.
It is coming. No, I don't know. I'm wrong or something.
No, sir. For next line, next to the salary, let us try once again. In G13 column.
So G13. Okay.
G13, we will try to find the name for that particular.
So you mean to say Anderson should come now, right?
No. For 53, we got the salary, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now we need to receive a Walker next. So next line, we will try it out.
Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I put Walker here. G11, it should be able to look at. And so is it D12 to?
Yeah, it is D12 to G.
Okay, let me put 4 here.
Sir, it is E, sir.
Yeah.
We have not taken correctly because it should come from ID, no? So ID, yeah.
So this is B and this is E. So I should be able to.
D12, not D12, it should be B12. B12 to uh,
18, right?
E18.
So we put it as 4 here.
Yeah, 4. It should be true, sir. Actually.
So I think for the no.
First place should be the numerical value. J11. Sir, you have taken J11. It should be J12, right? It is showing ID. Above in the formula column, it should be J12. In the formula you have taken as J11. It should be J12.
Why should I take J12? Because I have this thing in J11, right?
No. Okay.
Yeah,
Then you're not
correct.
selecting. It should be J12 because ID, no, it should match with the ID 53, right? So you are trying to get the with the ID for 53. What is the last name, right?
Okay, I have something on this tab. Like first place in formula must be numerical value, like index number.
22.
I don't know. Like might be, yes.
14.
Okay. So I'll accept that maybe not get into that thing. Yeah, there are some things probably I don't know. I am wrong or the way which we put it. Probably we should be able to get something here. So not the next steps like what can be done. Yes, this is something which we need to try it out. So let me know, like probably after the class you can try and let me know like whether somebody was successful in this.
Professor, on that link which you have sent, it shows that Vlookup function always looks up a value in the leftmost column. So I guess it is searching for the ID if you use B series.
Okay. Okay, so you mean to say it's 53, but I have to look up for the third thing and it should give me Walker. That's a thing. Yes, might be. That should be the thing. A good thing. Good observation. Why not try it out? So 53 is coming. Oh no, I have to see this thing here. So this should the thing which I should see.
Here it should be D3. It should start with.
3. That's right. So it
Yes,
is D.
correct. D3. It should start with D3, not J2. Or H3. H2. H or B.
Wait a moment. Like so let us. This is D3 itself. And it is D in B C D. So
Sir, J2 should be changed, no, sir. J2 should be changed to either B2 or H2.
yeah, I'll do that. Yes.
Professor, I pinged that is working. Survey chat name is coming.
Yeah, good. Put it here. That's the thing. So I think I should change this to 53.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Yeah, thanks everybody. Like who all helped me here. So first thing is something like we are the first thing should be a number on That's a thing where all the secret lies. So we were able to get some idea about it. Yeah, thanks. Vivek. Okay, so I got some other things also. Probably you can try it out. So what are the other things which is true, false, and all? Might be, yeah, that's why in orange letters that has been given here 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can try out the other aspects also. We have some approximate matches. So VLOOKUP looks right. I don't know, like for example, finding the John Lewis. So if I give the first name, probably the last name is right here, I think so. That also can be done. So the first match, multiple criteria, etc., etc. So
But sir,
kindly-
one thing, what I am understanding, we can only use the formula on the right hand side, not on the left hand side.
Yes, yes. Oh yes.
VLOOKUP
Gautami,
will go for right hand side, not the left hand side.
yes. Gautami has a question. VLOOKUP challenge. Yeah, the VLOOKUP looks function looks below up for the value 50 in the leftmost column. So what happens is like the ID, whatever is here, Gautami, probably is the thing which it takes. So this is where the match happens. It has to be numerical. That's the first most thing which we have to check it out. Other things and all, based on the thing, it locks itself for the data frame which is trying to look there. And we try to find out. I am trying to find out 53 first. That's a number here, which is which we want to find out whatever the exact thing which we are
Sir,
looking
we
for.
are finding out the salary for the ID 53, right?
Yes.
So where we took an example of name, for the name as an ID, we are looking for the salary.
Right.
But it was a little confusing because I don't know the concept of VLOOKUP. It was little confusing for me to understand this.
The only thing is like first column should be a numerical thing
Okay.
where we try to find a number. So probably if it is a text or something like that, we need not match. So that's a challenge here. So maybe it will come, probably maybe the other exercises may show that kind of a thing, but at a very basic level, if you're asking me, the first column is something which we are trying to find out. So that's a major trick which we are trying to do it.
Okay.
I want to find the ID, the salary for the ID 53. So the salary is in the fourth column. The first column is the ID. You have names also. So I am trying to find out the H2. So that is the 53 value here. So which is the vertical.
B3 is
So,
something from B3 we start and E9 is the whole E column will be taking. So E9 will be giving cell, right?
cells, the complete thing. So this is the data frame which is taken. So I repeat the word frame here. So it locks that complete kind of a thing. In this, it will search 53. And where is the salary here, which I am trying, because whatever is highlighted is the ID is something I want to pick up 53. Salary is what I want to show it. So it is in this complete whole setup. So it will look into this kind of a thing. So wherever 53 is there, so it will try to give me this salary here. So the salary is this idea. So that is what we can look up.
4 is the column name, right?
Yes.
4. That column will not pick by Excel like A, B, C, D. That will not pick. In the data what we have, that 4 will give.
Yes,
right?
that 4 will go.
Okay. And
Because
for
it is
the value
vertical.
is not there.
Top down. So it is like this. If I hold my finger like this is the vertical way it tries to find out. So fourth is the thing which it will see. So it will seek on the first column there. It will lock the frame here and will try to give the value.
Okay. Once I practice, I'll get to know, sir.
Yeah.
If any doubts, I'll get back to you.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome. So this was about VLOOKUP, and there are many permutation combinations. So probably you can look at it. Okay, so it was about. I have some questions here. Yeah, I could not understand. Somebody asked Anuba. So what exactly you mean by this? Oh, your mic is not working. Okay. I don't know, probably she has changed the ID column to something like A, B, C, D and all. So if you change ID, okay. So you mean to say if you put some text also, it should be able to. Oh, then it takes correct. Okay. So it is left to right. It will work. Good. Thanks. Yes. So I think the answer to Gautami, you can have the character also, something like names or something like that. Amarnath, Gautami, Anuba, if you put it that way also. You can seek on that thing, the first column where it will go, and it will try to pick up the answer. So that's what she has done. Maybe you can try it out.
Okay, sir.
Good, good. Thanks, thanks. Yeah, good Excel professionals. So that's how, because I don't know, like Excel is something as and when you get into it, like more like through a lot of conversations like this, we learn a lot. Anyway, good. So we'll do an index and match here. It looks the same, that same data here. I know what it does. Let me see. So he uses an index and match here completely, like, okay. So when I click on this thing, so it will only seek on the ID column and the salary column and get an answer for us. What is it trying to do? Okay. So from E3 to E9 is the index. So match it. So H2 is trying to find out some number. So B3 to B9 is from where we have to pick it up. So we have a logic of whether it's true or false in terms of a 0 here. So that is what is put here. So let me not take that 53 again. So it is creating some havoc. Let me try to put some other number. Let me try to put 14. So if I put that 14 here, will it give me that answer? You can give me that answer. So I can change those things and I get an answer. So what it does, so so he uses a very good term. So use index and match to impress your boss. Probably that's our whole thing. Instead of using VLOOKUP, use index and match to perform. Is what they say. So, but I don't know, like VLOOKUP works for many other things because that has been a match winner for personally to me. Index and match came later actually. In fact, when I started VLOOKUP, index and match were very much in its infancy or it was not at all there. VLOOKUP was there very much. Even HLOOKUP was not there when I started about 25 years back on Excel. So VLOOKUP has been a really great way to impress my boss also. So that I can, of course, he says that we can use index and match. So how it can be shown here. So the match function returns the position of a value in a given range. For example, the match function below shows the value 53 in the range B3 to B9. So that can also be done. index is something which we can say returns the fifth value, second argument in the range E3 to E9. If I want to take the same thing, whatever we try to use in our VLOOKUP, that's the answer which we get it here. That's what is. So I purposefully I didn't want Jessica Walker to come up. So I don't know, like Mia Clark is what I chose this time. So that's the salary. So it will only go by this. So two separate things are locked here, the first column and the last column, and you get an answer. Of course, VLOOKUP works for large things, lot better things, probably when you see the kind of thing. For a simple thing or for some particular purposes, this may work, what is being shown. So this is one way of doing a match kind of a thing. For a particular ID column, I want a salary. So I am discounting the first name and the last name. That's all. What can be done. That is one more way of doing index and match. At least try out this thing. So I'd always bet my luck or whatever it is on VLOOKUP a lot. It is not that thing like press a boss, I immediately move to index and match. Of course, at certain contexts it will be helpful. I don't say that. VLOOKUP for other things also helps a lot more. Okay, this was about index and match.
Both VLOOKUP and index and match are same functions, sir. Like both.
Something like that. Something like that. Near to that. So here instead of, because see what happens is like if I have a full setup of tables, say for example, I don't know, like if you try to go to databases, say for example, some A database, B database, you get lot of dumps and all. To get that, put it on your Excel is the first step which we try to work across. Of course, if it is a VLD with large databases, might be using an SQL server or a MySQL or even Oracle or something like that. Use the SQL language to try to build a data frame. That frame thing I am telling you again, if we have that thing, match it. But if you get some dumps somewhere about, say about, you have got two different databases, database has about 10 tables. From that thing, you pull something using an SQL onto some Excel CSVs or something like that. So I have a roughly some data pasted on my Excel here. In that kind of a situation, VLOOKUP is what which we'll try to use, because I have to consider the other aspects also, because once I go below here, there are a lot of other things he talks about, like what exactly to pick up and all. So that is where the ideation looks correct here. But for a simple thing, and probably as I told you, like 25 years back, VLOOKUP was there to the best of my knowledge. So index and match came later because Excel also was developing at that point of time. Today it's something different. To answer your question, it will only look at the first column and the last column and get an answer, that's all. It will discount, but VLOOKUP will look for a full data frame, whatever the thing, because we may try to match, because you can use a nested if also there. Probably if there are, say for example, 53 was the thing. There are two Jessica Walkers there, for example, in a company. So 53 is what particularly if I want to check it up. May through a match, we have to say that if there are, I have to discount one Jessica Walker here. So probably I want to only find out the the ID of the person of Jessica Walker who has the ID 53. The other Jessica Walker may have 98 as the ID. So I have to pick up 53 as the try to. So at that point of time, that kind of application works, where you will have a if nested logic also built in your VLOOKUP. I am using a very simple thing and showing. Here, just you get whatever is required. Index and match. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, Professor.
So that was about index and match. So some product. So very good thing. So let's see what exactly it does. So we got about 4 sheets here. Basic use, advanced, 3 types of advanced uses has been. Let's try to see 1 or 2. What will be of help? This will be very much useful for linear algebra. Some product is some linear algebra is a superset. What we have learned is mostly probably linear algebra who have done some advanced mathematics at college. Probably would have studied for matrix calculus. Because when it come to using other analytics, complex things like machine learning or deep learning, we try to use the TensorFlow. Of course, we use the language like Python and R or C, C++ or whatever it is. So that's fine there. But to learn at a conceptual understanding, some product is what is part of the matrix algebra goes, especially to find a matrix multiplication, find the rank of a matrix, and also you need to use some product thing for conceptual thing. Of course, for about something like basic medium kind of some calculation kind of data sets. For example, you have 10,000, want to do some linear algebra operations on this thing, you can use this some product. As far as the mathematics for this analytics or statistics kind of a thing, because once we use statistics and all, especially start with a single column of understanding, but it have many more columns and all, because all the variation in the data is in the data frame. So we try to put the data into a machine learning model, try to find out the answer. Find that variation, some product kind of it helps. Of course, today, example which you are seeing on the screen, something like product quantity price. If somebody working in the area of finance or doing MBA, trying to find out some kind of financial calculation, probably this kind of thing also helps. But I connect more to analytics because I come from that kind of a domain. So in finance also, especially some kind of marketing metrics calculation, also we try to use it. Whatever I say is something like, of course, my continuity is for my statistics thing. So that's the foundational thing that I try to build and come to that understanding. But it can be used for other things also. People working also may find got a whole set of engineering functions. Of course, basis matrix algebra. Some product is something as part of matrix algebra is very much okay. So I'm trying to find the total amount spent. So I have got a product quantity price. So what exactly it does? So some product function performs the calculation something. So it will try to find that 2 into 1000, 4 into 250 plus everything, give me an answer of 2500. So instead of putting a column of multiplying this thing, I am trying to use the whole set of this block matrix or a data frame structure to individually also will do it. We'll also try to work out in terms of remove this later. 3500 answer. So this way also So I'll multiply one of them. So if I sum this or use this auto sum function, will hear it. So this is the 3000. So I am avoiding this. As a structure, it should be able to multiply something. So what is trying to? So it is taking a product. So what I did was a product multiplication and trying to sum it. So it is known as sum product. So all in all, together we can use it. Say for a financial calculation, it will be basic thing which I am showing here. So use this Control A, Control C, try to paste the function here. So whatever is highlighted, it's trying to do whatever I did the calculation individually. That's all. So 3500 is what a very basic level sum product function. You'll see this thing when we try to use in our mathematics calculation. We try to use sum product for calculating some kind of matrix function going forward. So caveat, ranges must have the same dimension or Excel will display the value. So you know that thing, probably I need not explain. For example, if you have to multiply some matrix, for example, you have a, I don't know, like 3 rows to 2 columns. So you have to multiply it with something, means like I cannot do a multiplication into 3 into 2 matrix itself. So I need to take the transpose of this 3 into 2. So this becomes 3 into 2. I take a transpose 2 into 3. So I mean to say this thing should be common. The resultant matrix is 3 into 3. So that's a kind of multiplication forward. So what I mean to say is the dimension should be, so whatever we learned as part of our matrix calculations or something like in high school, which you taught, so the dimensions should be correct. That's what I mean to say. That's all, nothing else, nothing complex. So some product function treats any entries that are not numeric as if they were zeros. If I put something here, it will treat it as some zeros. It will ignore that to get this 2100. Let's see here. I remove this. The total is 2100. I don't know. So dimensions should be correct. It will treat them as 0. It will multiply. I want an answer for this. So here I remove this off. I get an 2000. This is also. So if you supply a single range, the sum product function produces the exact same. That's all. It will not do anything. It will just produce the result, whatever is. That is also true of the sum product function. So some advanced, one thing I'll do, probably the rest you can work it out. So this sum product is at the last here. There is a Countif function also. So let's see what exactly he has done here. So Countif function below counts the number of cells that contains exactly star. So we studied if count is something very basic. Countif function also some years ago, I can say 20 years back, it was not there, both together. Count was there, if was there. Two things were separate. So they built something like, so as and when programming progressed or something like that, that countif became very much important. So that's what is being used here. So a countif function below counts the number of cells that contain exactly star. That's what it does. So I think that is the answer which we are trying to get here. So this is the one. So wherever the star is there, so what it is from A1 to A7. So from A1 to A7, wherever star is there, it's trying to find out how much. Something else is there. So if I change this to stars, I get 1 because there is only 1 star here. So some product. So some product has a here. We are seeing something like this here. What it means here. These are some things which were not available very earlier on. What does it mean to us? Let us explanation. So this dash dash A1 to ASN reduces to the following array constant. So it is something like true, false, 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 true. So the double negative coerces these booleans to ones and zeros. True is 1, false is 0 by default as far as the internal working of Excel goes. So result is like 1 semicolon 0 0 0 0 1 comma 0. So this array constant is used as an argument for some product function giving a result of 2. That's what it does. So this is something like this 2 negative coerces this thing, especially for this Boolean. If somebody has done in college about Boolean algebra, fuzzy logic and all may understand. So people who are not used to it don't get confused. So this is some kind of logic being used inside. So this is mathematics which has been used here. What is of importance? Minus sign. So you may not use it every time, but it's very much important when you try to write some logic. What it does, based on that thing, it calculates to get an answer. So that's what it does. It has changed something there to get an answer, something different. But now it coerces certain things in form of a Boolean logic and tries to get the answer. The answer is so here it is star. So it does A1 to A7, whatever is star is there, tries to go by the Boolean logic. There are 2 things there. It has to count. It will give an answer. So why this star was not taken? Because there is a gap here. That is not what. So exact match has happened based on that. So that's one more way of advanced some product function. As I told you, dimension should be so 1 column kind of. It does it. Of course, inside the thing, I try to put some what is Boolean algebra logic. So please don't confuse something rocket science, not other people can understand it. Don't get confused with all that fancy words. Some kind of logic. One need to practice more on those kind of wherever it is essential. That's what is the use of it. There are other things also probably you can look into. This much more idea of all the so last but not least for this today's class is the random number. When we talk about statistics, randomness is something. So whatever we learn about statistics is something like random. I mean, it's stochastic in nature. So there is always an error in our answers. So whatever the numbers which we can create or something like that. Your laptop, my laptop, even though I am a statistician, my laptop also internally has a random number generator. So we require these things for many things. Let's see for what things we require. There are n number of things we can work on this. But random numbers is something which we should be aware of in case we are into statistics. Because statistics is a stochastic sense where error is part of our life. We will always stay to some kind of confidence intervals. So it is something like random. For example, if it's a rainy season, when we just move out of the house, we think that probably it may. Word probably comes, yes, something about probability. So some kind of numbers or some kind of numeric quantity attached to something like that, it is that randomness we call it. So we can create pseudo random numbers in Excel. So that is very much important here. So that is what I am trying to talk about. So this random function generates a random decimal number between 0 and 1. So let's try to do that. In fact, that book has a chapter on random numbers also. I think I can show you. So exclusively that has been put. You have got a drop down member thing also. You can generate this, how many variables, what's the kind of number you want, and all this. Why this is done? Because so, for example, for a lot of problems and all, you do not have any data. For example, if it's a greenfield project, somebody is trying to come up with solar power plant or something like some other thing, a nuclear power plant for that matter. So you don't have historical values for that kind. At that point of time, you have to create something. So how to create? Like from a chemical experiment, you know, numerical fission can happen and all. Under lab conditions, you can create any reactor or something like that. So it might be like a small scale model, something like this of whatever I'm showing here. A nuclear reactor we have. But at a large scale, so for example, India has so many reactors to power our energy needs and all. But we don't know, like, we'll talk about bad things, of course. Have a nuclear reactor, chance of radiation is high, people may die, everything. But somebody has to work on this. For example, you know, like it's a greenfield project, to know like what are the kind of things which you have to do as a consultant, management consultant, or something like that. You need to put some numbers. You know what are the variables, like for example, how the plant is designed, how the pipelines go and all. So what's the number to it? Those kind of things where kind of simple example, businesses also, for example. So if conditions, like when I teach about what if analysis. So randomly, if I change some numbers, you get a different answer altogether. That's the kind of randomness I'm talking. You need to have a knowledge of this randomness. So we'll see how we can use this random. Download it. So somebody has created this thing between 0 and 1 rand. What is the function? So I'll go to D. I'll only create a rand. I open bracket and close the bracket and enter. So this came as an answer as 0 point. So it is random. By default, you have a random number generated built inside our laptop. My laptop also has it. Your laptop also has it. So when I clicked enter here, remember this was some number I had, this got changed. It is random. So on your screens, click the F9 function key here on the top of your laptops. Click the F9. If I click on this F9 here, the number changes for me. So randomly it will create one more number for me. Everything is changing right in front of you. Probably you can see this. So why is it? Because randomly it generates something for me. That's a whole idea here. So what variable? For example, in project, like for example, laying a particular pipeline or laying a, for example, I don't know, like creating that, I don't know what, a pool of that nuclear fission boilers or something like that. It has some dimensions for that. Randomly, you know that what can in a lab condition you have a reactor build, like try to upscale the model to a actual production. At that point of time, you have certain randomly I should create some numbers there. So at that point of time, I require this function. So it will create for me. Any other programming language also creates. I think probably programmers in this class today probably do coding a lot, probably C has, and many other languages like Python has it, R has it, R also has it, but it's built there. So that's a way of creating random number. That was one of the examples. So if I want to create a list of numbers, I try to do that also. Positive. So I drag the thing. So it will create a list of random numbers for me. So I can name this thing, for example, something like salary. I multiply by my salary is something 85 rupees or something like that, whatever it is. So randomly I created about 10 or 9 different salaries or something. This is a variable we assume some problem. I wanted to create a salary of some certain number. That's how it is. So random nature, stochastic. Of course, this is error here. Something like based on certain conditions, I can mix an if condition also into whatever it is, but it will create. But remember, if I press F9, again it will change. So for certain conditions, if you put the copy paste this thing. So for example, if I say Control C, paste it as value. This is for an assumption, certain assumption they have it, this will not change. I have this taken this further and I try to get an answer for this. Of course, other things changes. But this is something which is stagnant. I take it, put it as part of some other calculation, try to get an answer. That's how that randomness also will be created. So rand between one more function. So if I want to have some numbers between 50 and 75 itself, I can create that. I go here is equal to rand between 100 comma 200. So 139 is a number picked by my laptop and given. That's how you can create this rand. So any range which you can give it. that also can be done. It has to be decimal, it will give a decimal. If it's an integer, it will be an integer. So these are the things which I had for this class. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Anybody, any questions?
Professor Survi here, are you in future showing me that one Excel, 2 Excel, 3 Excel, and VLOOKUP will go and search 2, 3 Excel, tab actually, and final Excel, it will create the output?
No, it will go in one sheet between different sheets of a workbook. One workbook is one file. In a workbook, it can have 10 sheets. So if you have data in about 4 different sheets, you can go and search in a particular, because each sheet will have a name. So whatever the logic, if I go and search, for example, in different sheets, I can get that answer. Of course, it starts with a particular, you can start with sheet 2 also. So sheet 2 will have some column of data. It will go by that search. It can go to sheet 1, your logic, go to sheet 3, sheet 4. In sheet 2, in a particular cell, it can give you an answer. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, but I want this type of formula. If you have handy,
Yes,
okay, I want, yeah.
You can check that below also has it, but yes, I'll keep it. I'll get that for you.
Because we need a final report from the 2, 3 sheet, because sometimes we are searching 2, 3 Excel sheet, we want formula, so that instead of searching, we'll find it.
It will be one workbook itself, that's all. It cannot go between 2 workbooks. Workbook is a file. Each
Okay.
workbook can have many sheets. So within a sheet, it can play around, definitely.
So many sheet is not possible, 2, 3 sheet.
2, 3 sheet is possible. 2, 3 workbook is not possible.
Okay, here one Excel sheet, one tab, another Excel sheet, one tab, third Excel sheet, that possible. Okay.
So this is a file which I have opened. So random numbers. So it has rand and rand array. So one more sheet it can have, one more. So it has 4 sheets. So
Okay.
in this thing, if I in sheet 1 sheet in this file, I go by this. This is the first column. In this thing, I go by this second column. So I want to have an answer somewhere here. It can do it for me.
Okay, fine.
That's all. This is only workbook. Workbook is the name, random numbers. You see here top, this is the random number, this is the workbook.
Okay, got it. Thank you. We want that formula.
Yeah. So you please work on the other things also. Anything else, let me know. So we can connect next class. So next class is Friday, 10/7.
Okay.
Okay then.
Thank you.
For joining. So let me stop the recording. So all of you, please one-on-one just talk to Rajan sir and ask for the recording. So probably he might be busy.
We didn't get the access of that folder. I was checking, I was not able to get access. So we need a mail to Rajan sir for access.
Yes, you need to send a mail to Rajan sir, so he will be providing you the access.
Okay.